suggested that we meet under a disused jetty by the river.
Disused Yeti?
Okay, hi, and welcome to a very special episode of A Disused Yeti. We are doing audio only today. This is Risa Romano.
Frances Martin.
And Michelle Nishimura.
So we aren't at the comic book store and we're having trouble with scheduling, so I brought in a couple of my friends who are at different stages of watching Doctor Who, and maybe sort of their interest was dropping off, and maybe talking about what some of the reasons for that might be. So, to start off, I'm caught up as of the end of season 8. Where were you guys?
I gave up watching after Rory and Amy left in, season 7?
It's like halfway through season 7.
And then I watched the 50th anniversary, and I watched Matt Smith's last episode, and I watched about 10 minutes of Capaldi's first episode.
Okay.
And then I watched the 8th season just recently on Netflix.
I feel like we're plugging Netflix. Right?
Yay, Netflix!
Yeah.
Okay, so, and I'm going to start with you because you stopped watching sooner.
Okay.
What was the main reason, and then when you kept trying to come back, what kept stopping you?
Well, the writing just wasn't there. I felt like there was a great writing in seasons 5 and 6 with Rory and Amy and the 11th Doctor, and they just worked really well and the storylines went all the way through. But then when season 7 started, it was all over the place. I didn't think Rory and Amy had the right send-off, and when Clara was introduced, I was very annoyed, and then there was that group of 3 with the short dude and the lizard lady and her wife, and they were just pointless and annoying, and I couldn't handle it.
Okay. So was it, because they keep coming back, those 3, was it the deep breath? When you were finally like, I'm done.
Which one was the deep breath episode?
That was the first episode of season 8 with Capaldi.
Yeah, I think I lasted 10 minutes.
Okay.
And I just was like, I'm done. I don't care about anybody right now at all. So maybe Stephen Moffat needs to make me care a little bit more about the characters.
Okay. And what about, was it after Matt Smith that you were like...
Well, definitely when Matt Smith left, I lost interest exponentially.
Right.
But it was when the Pawns left. They didn't exactly die. It was when they left that, really, that's when I started losing more interest. I felt pretty broken up about it, and I was like, and after that, I just couldn't get into the story as much.
How did you guys, at the beginning of season 7, when Amy and Rory were still technically the companions, how did you guys feel about the beginning of season 7?
I didn't like that they were having marital issues.
Yeah, that was...
That was weird.
And seemed out of character, especially for Rory.
Especially after all that.
Yeah, he waited for her for thousands of years.
And yes,
she's like, I don't like that you're a model or something.
Yeah, that was really petty.
Yeah.
After all of that, who cares?
Yeah, I'm gonna wait for somebody for 2,000 years. It would take a lot for me to not love them anymore, to be that upset.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, I mean, that was weird, definitely, but they were still there. And it was really just that last episode with them that just went. I mean, I agree with the writing not being off, being off from the beginning of season 7, but they still had the Pawns, so it was still, I was still okay, the chemistry through everyone was still keeping me there.
Yeah.
But then they left. Then it was Matt Smith, because I love Matt Smith, but but that was it, though. I don't really remember much with just Matt Smith, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of have a theory about that, and I think, Frances, because you haven't seen season 8, maybe you won't know as well.
Spoil anything. No, you don't have to worry about spoilers.
Okay.
I don't need, there really was, there's nothing to spoil.
And that's another, speaking of spoilers, River Song, just kind of dissipated.
Yeah.
And I heard she's gonna come back in season 9.
For the Christmas special.
Yeah.
But I was like, River Song was such an important part of the Matt Smith era. I think she deserved a better send-off as well.
In and out, and then not there anymore.
Yeah, exactly. And they made it seem like she was in and out throughout his life.
Yeah. So what I was saying was one
Sorry.
of the things. It's fine. One of the things that I think bothered me with season 7 was that Amy and Rory were living at home, and then the Doctor would pop in and take them back and forth. And that started with the beginning of season 7, which I think season 7 is probably my least favorite. But season 8, it's the same thing with Clara, where he'll drop in, pick her up, go for a trip, and then he takes her home. And I don't like that. It's like, if you're gonna go traveling, or don't. Yeah. But don't.
What threw me off with that the most was, like, that he would still get her back on time. And I was like, what happened with, like, showing up a year later?
Be consistent. Yeah. Be consistent.
That was the whole thing with Amy, was he was like, I'll be right back, and then, like, 20 years later.
Yeah, exactly. That just left. Like, apparently he's really prompt now.
Unless Capaldi is, like, the only competent doctor we've ever had. He will be there on time.
Yeah, that made no sense. I was like, really? Wait, she's on time? That was so funny.
And I wish with Amy and Rory's last episode, I always felt like Amy had kind of a thing with the Weeping Angels, and so I thought they were going to really do that, because she got some of the dust in her eye and everything, so I thought they were going to do something with that. They didn't.
No.
And they had the Weeping Angels there, and I'm like, you're going to do something awesome, and no, they just kind of, like, went back in time and grew to old age, and she wrote a book.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I've been having the sort of, like, idea of an arc story. Like, 5 and 6, the arc was fine. Like, it was well enough that it worked, and I didn't have a problem with it. Have you seen the 50th? I know you said you saw the 50th.
Yeah.
I think I did.
It's the one where the Gallifrey War between them.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
I was hoping when that came out, I really liked it, and the more I think about it, the less I like it, so I try not to think about it too much. But it was on TV last night, so I caught a second of it, and I totally lost my train of thought. Oh, so I was hoping that after that aired, it was like, oh, cool, we have a direction now, they're looking for Gallifrey. And then they never brought it up again in season 8. They mention it once in the very last episode of the season, and Listen is kind of about that. But other than that, they don't really bring up the Time War, the fact that Gallifrey is still out there, or any of that.
And see, that was one of the reasons why I was kind of excited about season 8, even though I gave up 10 minutes in. But now I'm glad I didn't, because I would have been really even more annoyed.
It was, like, brought up once, like, or that's when I only remember it. Like, significantly, it only was brought up once.
For such a significant thing, it should have been more prominent. And they say that that's what the next season's going to be about, but why we had to take an entire season hiatus from that really important plotline, I don't know.
Because Stephen Moffat doesn't know what he's doing anymore.
I don't understand how that happens. It was so good.
I think it could be one of those, I mean, this is going off, but it could be one of those things where now he's just too close, he's been on it too long. Yeah. Like, there's a point where anyone in their writing or projects where they have to take a step back, they need a time off, and then they can come back, like, sometimes with a clearer mind, but I think he's just
maybe
too
burned
close.
out.
Yeah.
I think, too, if you notice, he started doing the latest season of Sherlock right when season 7 of Doctor Who happened, and it took a dive, so maybe he just can't multitask like that.
And season 3 wasn't
as
projects. Good as seasons 1 and 2.
Yeah, maybe he's not David E. Kelly, but not everybody is David E. Kelly. So there's nothing wrong with that.
Everyone has a limit.
So I'm not going to judge on that. You're still running these hit shows. Sometimes you have to be the bigger person and step back and go, maybe I need...
Yeah, what's better for your show? Yeah. Do you care enough about it to take a step back?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Because he's not relinquishing the reins.
He's not. We're about to go into... He's going to start filming the next season of Sherlock, and that means that we are going to have a year without Doctor Who, because he can't do both at the same time.
Pick one.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
He could still stay on as, like, a consultant or
a writer.
Like,
just not the head,
Yeah, just not show running.
I'm sure there's some talented people underneath him who would take the show to a whole new level.
Yeah.
And would still maintain some of his techniques or whatever.
Yeah.
He's gonna have to hand the reins over sometime.
Eventually.
Not everyone lives forever.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Except the Doctor.
Well, no, isn't he on his last incarnation?
Oh, that was with Matt
surpassed
Smith.
it already. That was
Oh.
Matt Smith.
So they just threw that to the wind.
Yep.
There was like a quote unquote reason.
Yeah, there was a quote unquote
It was-
reason, but
it was
still, the
that.
fact that
Okay.
he went past it, it's like, well, anything can happen
Well,
now.
see,
Yeah.
I think if they went past it, they should have just made it a woman.
Well,
Like,
says
you're
the
done being a
Master's done
man
that too.
for now, so now let's be a woman. Just saying.
Yeah, I don't know. There is the fact that we have seen Capaldi in the Doctor Who universe before as two different characters, actually. They said supposedly is going to be important because he was in Doctor Who in the Pompeii episode, and he was on Torchwood as a scientist guy, I think. I don't really remember. And they said that both of those are somehow going to come into play, but it hasn't happened yet. They're like, they keep leading us on with everything
Such
in
a
that
man.
show. But yeah.
Well, and also, you and Risa and I were talking about this the other day about Doctor Who, and we were noticing that Stephen Moffat doesn't take them off Earth a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They stay in different time
Yeah.
periods,
It's been
but
time periods.
on Earth, always,
Yeah.
almost.
Maybe some more space would be fun. I was going
Yeah, the different
through
worlds.
all of his,
and-
even his ones when Davies was still a showrunner. I mean, his first season it was Empty Child Doctor Dances, which is Earth in the 40s.
Yeah.
And then he did the second season. I think it was Girl in the Fireplace, which is Earth. Then it was Blink, which is like contemporary Earth. It's
Yeah.
as Earth as you get.
Yeah.
And then there was Silence in the Library, which was technically another planet, but feels very much like just a big library.
Oh, that's the one where we first meet River.
Yeah.
Mhm,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was laying the groundwork for her. I don't know when he knew he was gonna get the show.
Makes sense.
But so you're caught up. Are you gonna keep going when season 9 comes back?
Well, I'm terrible at keeping up with it when it's airing. So it's usually when it comes to Netflix that
when
I
it's over?
start just binge watching, and then sometimes that helps me get through them where it just keeps going and I don't have to think
Yeah.
too much about it.
Well, for the first time since...
So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Okay.
I'm gonna listen to your
this
reaction
last-
on it.
This last one, I barely even, I just watched it, and it's already not memorable. Like, I
Yeah.
really don't even remember much of it, except me, like, seething at Clara, and then kind of being sad about her, like, fiance or to be fiance. I don't even remember. Like, whatever they were. Like, and then that was it. I was like, I don't feel like Capaldi is getting... I don't think he's, like, at his full potential because of his companion.
I think he could be really, really awesome.
and yeah.
It's hard for me to judge because of that reason. But,
Are they still doing those three other
Yeah,
characters?
they were in it a lot,
yeah.
actually. I remember
few
them.
and far between.
Yeah, I remember them a lot in that.
I
In
just
Deep
was-
Breath, they were very much at the center of it, and then they go away for most of it.
They should just go away permanently.
Well, they've been talking about spitting them off, which I would be okay with, because then they'd be on a different show.
Really, people like them enough to spin it off?
Yeah. I don't hate them, but I don't particularly care for them.
I'm in Risa's boat.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know what it was. I just the dynamic or something. I just went nope.
So, we were talking about maybe, like, having a weekend where we just drink a lot and try and power through
Yeah,
season.
I'm okay with that. I'm totally okay with that.
Yeah.
For sure. Yes, let's do it.
Okay.
Doctor Who is one of those shows too that I'll revisit when I'm like really sick and I can't process anything, but I'll be able to put Doctor Who on and it just
So that, for some reason, that makes sense.
yeah, it just
It's
I can just focus on that. It's weird. Also, when I'm under the influence of other substances, I like to watch my like hour-long sci-fi or fantasy programs like Buffy or True
Yeah.
Blood or Doctor Who for some reason.
Yeah.
They're just easier to watch when I'm a little messed up.
Yeah. Well, I'm kind of asking because this is the first time where I'm not going to watch it as it premieres.
Really?
Yes, because I'm that frustrated with Clara.
You're waiting to see when they announce that they're killing her off?
Kind of. Well, she's already announced that she was leaving the show twice and then changed her mind and batted her eyelashes at Moffat. And he was like, sure, we'll write you back in. So I'm gonna wait until season 9 is over and binge it because I think honestly it would be easier for me to take it all in one dose than sit through her week after week.
Wow.
And then hopefully that will be it.
You go to no one's freaking conventions
I
and
go
everything.
to the convention. I will hopefully be caught up by February, which is when the Doctor Who one is. But yeah, I'm not gonna do it every week.
Ugh. So your main problem is definitely with Clara.
Yeah, and I like Capaldi, and it bums me out, because I think I could really like Capaldi, if I could see him with a different dynamic that I enjoyed.
So what kind of companion could you picture with Capaldi? Both of you.
Oh, that's a good question. Why am I moderating? You should be doing this.
I know, Francis. No, I have no idea.
Just somebody different.
Yeah.
I'm hoping Maisie Williams might be transferring into that role. I like her just because I love Arya so much. She's my favorite.
Doesn't like Arya. In fact, in all the shows I watch, anybody named Arya tends to be a very interesting character.
Yeah, she's pretty awesome. So, but I don't know. Maybe someone from a different time period. Maybe more than one person. I'm not against. Not too many, because like the Fifth Doctor would have like just constantly new people coming on the TARDIS, and there was like this huge group, and maybe that's too many. But if there were like two, like Amy and Rory, having 3 people on the TARDIS, I think is a good.
That was good.
Dynamic, yeah.
I can see that, or he's kind of you don't know exactly what's going on in his head, so
Yeah.
it's like I'm not sure who I can see him with exactly.
He's hard to pin down. He's a little on the bipolar side.
I know.
Yeah.
Which I think is kind of funny. But yeah, I can see him with someone who could almost, but usually it's not like this way, but like the companions, someone who could be a bit lighter, or who could maybe understand a bit of, or help him deal with that
his
inner,
issues.
I don't know, inner bipolar turmoil.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody a little bit more grounded and a little bit more light instead of
Not so flighty.
Yeah,
instead
not
of
so
a
flighty.
manic pixie dream girl.
Exactly.
Yeah, maybe somebody who can be like, hey, you know what? You're kind of spazzing out. Like, let's do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of, apparently she throws keys or something, so.
Yeah.
In a fit of rage.
She throws a fit.
Yeah, she throws a fit.
Maybe somebody a little bit more adult for Capaldi.
Yeah, yes. Yes, because she
Yes,
acts
there
like
you
a
go.
child, and it's like, you're a grown-up, let's be grown-ups now. Which, and I
Someone who
understand
will
that there's
take
a childlike feel to the show and all of that, and there's that famous line, like, there's no point in being grown-up if you can't be childish once in a while, but if you are... It's once in a while. That's the difference. You can't be that way all the time.
Yeah.
The Doctor needs to be a grown-up sometimes, and the companion needs to be a grown-up sometimes.
And I think that's why Donna and Tennant worked
Yes.
so well together.
I love that.
Because Donna just kept him a little bit more grounded. Because the thing is with
And
the
she's
character of
crazy
the
and
Doctor,
fun, and she still keeps him grounded.
Yeah.
And the character's always going to, the Doctor's always going to be this character who's kind of fighting all over the place because he's so old.
Yeah.
And so I feel like the older you get, the more you can process the information. He has this more advanced brain. He's going to be all over the place to us humans.
Right.
But if you have that companion that's a little bit more adult, but still just like how Michelle described her ideal Capaldi companion, an adult with a sense of humor.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it has to be someone who would be able to handle both sides.
Yeah,
So
Clara doesn't handle him so well.
She doesn't at all.
freaks
At
out.
all. Yeah. She doesn't even think he's the Doctor anymore because
Exactly.
it's a different face. It's
And then she gets weird and bipolar because half the time she's like, I love you, you're the best, and the other half of the time she's like, I'm never speaking to you again, and I'm like, make up your mind.
I think she's more bipolar than seriously, it'll be in one episode.
That's why he acts the way he does.
Yeah, maybe it's all Clara. That's what it is. It's not it's Clara.
Well, it's Clara.
He's just bouncing off of her.
Yeah, he's just a reflection of the companion.
Oh my god. It's horrible.
So we gotta get him a new companion.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's kind of my main thing. And the writing, I'm not happy with it. I think if we're gonna go the Gallifrey route, and Gallifrey has been done unsuccessfully in the past, but if you're actually gonna introduce that, you need to at least follow through with it, and then if you want to drop it later, drop it, but don't drop it before you started it, you know?
I agree.
Yeah.
Follow through with things.
Exactly. Yes. Any other final thoughts? I think we've been talking for a while now.
I have no final thoughts.
Okay.
I personally do miss watching Doctor Who and being excited about Doctor Who every week.
I miss being excited.
So I would be very happy if some of these changes were made, if we had maybe a new companion and a little bit crisper, more focused writing.
Yeah.
I think that maybe they need to step back and reevaluate where they're going with that show, because it is a fun show and it was a fun thing to watch and get excited about, and it makes me sad that I don't even care enough to last more than 10 minutes into the new season.
I think I did stuff while watching the 8th season too.
Yeah.
So I don't it just didn't captivate me.
Yeah, Facebook on our phones. I mean, you have to make a show that's going to make you want to silence your phone and put it down and focus.
Yeah. I remember there was, early on in season 7 when I was still excited.
Yeah.
My brother and I would literally lie down in front of the TV without computers or anything, because it was still fun, and we don't do that. So, I mean, I don't usually see him when it's on, but all the same. It was, by the time we got to season 8, it was like, what else is happening?
It's not special anymore.
Yeah. Anyway.
It's unfortunate.
It is.
So, vamp it up.
Vamp it up. And I think
Get it together.
I think Moffat's under contract through the end of season 10, which means we are going to have that year-long wait.
That was my reaction.
Unless something changes. But so in the meantime, if I don't know what the answer is. Maybe more
Stephen
input from
Moffat
other
should
writers.
hire you, Risa,
Or
to
hire
be
me.
a writer and
I'd be fine
co-showrunner, or at least consultant.
Yeah, well, I'd be a good consultant because I know a lot about the show.
Just a
and
lot.
I'd enjoy
You're
it.
a woman,
Yeah.
and I
I'd
like
enjoy
that.
We do have some women writers and women directors in this upcoming season, which is exciting.
I did notice that.
Yeah.
So
So
You'll have to let me know if their
maybe-
episodes are good.
well, maybe there will be a bit of a change. There have been some less successful episodes written by women in the past, which makes me sad because it's maybe if these had been better,
Which
it wouldn't be
ones?
sad. The two-parter in Manhattan with the Daleks from season 3.
Oh, yeah, that was a
That
little...
was a woman pen.
It was just kind
yeah.
of...
Meh.
Yeah. But also that Martha was your companion. That season was kind of not Tennant's best season.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, no, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Just in
between that and
general.
the other 2 seasons he did, because I thought the others were awesome. But anyway, all right. So I don't know what's gonna happen next. If we'll be back at the comic book store. There's a craft fair happening next week that we're thinking of maybe trying to get to. Maybe we can spin something out of that. But hopefully, I will be able to keep doing this consistently. We've been talking about other options of how to keep the podcast afloat and regular, and so yeah, hopefully there will be something new in the next couple of weeks. It will be on the blog. We have a blog, by the way, if you're not there. It's at disusedyeti.wordpress.com. So any news we'll probably be putting up there, and we'll see you next time.
Disused Yeti?